Hello, sir. This is Lizelle May Panganiban. Introduction in Communication. So, what is data communication? A data communication, it is the exchange of data between two devices via some form of transmission medium. Data communication is refers to the exchange of data between a source and receiver via forms of transmission media such as a wire cable. It is said to be local if communicating devices are in the same building or similarity restricted geographical area. So this is the 5 characteristics of effective communication. Number 1, it is uses the same transmission medium and language. Number 2, direct and indirect communication. Number 3, mutual understanding. Number 4, continuous process. And number 5, use of words as well as symbols. So data. Data refers to information represented in whatever form is agreed upon by the parties creating and using the data. Data are units of information, often numeric, that are collected through observation. In a more technical sense, data are set of values of qualitative or quantitative variables about one or more persons or object, while a datum is single value of single variable. So this is the 3 fundamental characteristics of data communication. Number 1, deliver. The system must deliver data to the correct destination. Accuracy. The system must deliver data accurately. Timeliness. The system must deliver data in a timely manner. Components of data communication. Message. It is the information or data to be communicated. Number 2, sender. It is the device that sends the data message. Number 3, receiver. It is the device that receives the message. Number 4, medium. It is the physical path by which a message travels from sender to receiver. Number 5, protocol. It is a set of rules governs data and communications. Data representation. So data representation refers to the form in which data is stored, processed, and transmitted. Devices such as smartphones, iPads, and computers store data in digital formats that can be handled by electronic circuitry. So data representation. Number 1 is text. In virtually all computers, alphanumeric data and special characters, as example, letters, numbers, and symbols, are each assigned a specific binary value called a character code. ASCII, American Standard Code for Information, interchange pronounced as EE, requires 7 bits for each character. The ASCII code for an uppercase is 100001. B. Extended ASCII is a superset of SACII that uses 8 bits for each character. For example, extended ASCII represents the uppercase letter A as 01000001. Using 8 bits instead of 7 bits allows extended ASCII to provide codes for 256 characters. Now, letter C, Unicode, pronounced Unicode, uses 16 bits and provides codes or 65,000 characters. This is a bonus for representing the alphabets of multiple languages. UTF-8 is a variable length coding scheme that uses 7 bits for common ASCII character but uses 16-bit Unicode as necessary. ISO, or International Organization for Standardization. ISO 10303 is an ISO standard for the computer interpretable representation and exchange of product manufacturing information. Number 2. Numbers consist of numbers that can be used in arithmetic operations. Digital devices represent numeric data using the binary number system, also called base 2. The binary number system only has 2 digits, 0 and 1. Number 3. Images. Images are represented in digital format in a wide variety of ways. At the most basic level, there are two different ways of encoding the content of a 2D image in digital format. Raster, also known as bitmap, and vector. Bitmap representations use one or more two-dimensional arrays of pixels, picture elements, whereas vector representations use a series of drawing commands to represent an image. So number 4, audio. An audio signal is a signal that contains information in an audible frequency range. Audio representation refers to the extraction of audio signal properties or features that are representative of the audio signal composition, both in temporal and spectral domain, and audio signal behavior over time. Feature extraction is typically combined with feature selection, through which the best set of features for the intended operation on the audio signal is defined. Number 5. Video. Video representation is the first and one of the most sub-problems in video pre-processing. Generally, in video processing, video frames are usually represented as a matrix. In our method, we use the luminance information to keep the data in every single frame with a vector structure. Data flow. A data flow is a path for data to move from one part of the information system to another. A data flow may represent a single data element such the customer ID, or it can represent a set of data elements or a data structure. Number 1 for data flow is simplex. Communication is unidirectional in simplex mode. The communication is unidirectional as on a one-way street. Only one of the two devices on a link can transmit. Keyboards, I1 and traditional monitors are examples of simplex devices. The keyboard can only introduce input. The monitor can only accept output. The simplex mode can use the entire capacity of the channel to send data in one direction. So number 2, half-duplex. Each station can both transmit and receive, but not at the same time. In half-duplex mode, each station can both transmit and receive, but not at the same time. When one device is sending, the other can only device. The half-duplex mode is like a one-lane road with a traffic allowed in both directions. When cars are traveling in one direction, cars going the other way must wait. In a half-duplex transmission, the entire capacity of channel is taken over by whichever of the two devices is transmitting at the time. Walkie-talkies and CB or citizens band radio are both half-duplex systems. The half-duplex mode is used in cases where there is no need for communication in both directions at the same time. The entire capacity of the channel can be utilized for each direction. A full duplex, both stations can transmit and receive simultaneously. In full duplex mode, or also called duplex, both stations can transmit and receive simultaneously. The full duplex mode is like a two-way street with traffic flowing in both directions at the same time. In full duplex mode, signals going in one direction share the capacity of the link. With signals going in the other direction, the sharing can occur in two ways. Either the link must contain two physically separate transmission paths, one for sending and other for receiving, or the capacity of the channel is divided between the signals traveling in both directions. One common example of duplex communication is the telephone network. When two people are communicating by a telephone line, both can talk and listen at the same time. The full duplex mode is used when communication in both directions is required all the time. The capacity of the channel, however, must be divided between the two directions. Network criteria. Number 1, performance. It can be measured in many ways. Transit time and response time. Transit time, it is the amount of time required for a message to travel from one device to another device or another. It is the elapsed response time. It is the elapsed time between an inquiry and response. And it is the performance of the network depends on many factors such as numbers of users, type of transmission medium, capacity of the hardware, and efficiency of the software. Reliability, it is measured by the frequency of the failure. Time it takes a link to recover from failure and network's rebuildment in a catastrophe. So number 3, security, how the network protect data from unauthorized access. Risk of network. Network is categorized with the following factors as size, ownership, distance it covers, and physical architecture. So categories: local area network or LAN, metropolitan area network or MAN, wide area network or WAN. So this is the example and their size, ownership, distance, architecture example or examples. First is LAN, building or campus. The size is building or campus. Ownership, privately owned. Distance, few kilometers. Architecture, bus, star, or N-ring. And the example is laboratory network. Number 2 is MAN. The size is city. Ownership, public company. Distance, extended over entire city. The architecture is, or P architecture, is LAN to LAN. The examples is cable network. Number 3, 1. The size is globe. Ownership, private or public. Distance, extended over entire globe. P architecture, man to man. Examples is internet. The network, It is a group of connected communication devices such as computers and printers. Mid 1960s standalone devices. ARPA or Advanced Research Projects Agency. DoD or Departments of Defense. In 1967, ACM, ARPA, and IMP. ACM, Association for Computing Machinery Meeting. ARPA is ARPANET. IMP is Interfaces Message Processor. In 1969, ARPANET Reality, it is the four nodes. Number 1 is University of California, Los Angeles or UCLA. University of California, Santa Barbara or UCSB. Stanford Research Institution, University of Utah, NCP or Network Control Protocol. In 1972, Vince Cerf and Bob Kahn Interneting Project. Transmission Control Protocol or TCP. Number 1, encapsulation or wrap then unwrap. Datagram or UDP, prioritize time over reliability. Functions of a gateway or gate between two networks. Shortly thereafter, TCP, higher level functions. Segmentation, number 1, segmentation, reassembly, error detection. IP or handle datagram. TCP or IP, Internet protocols today. Physical topology. It refers to the way in which a network is laid out physically. Categories. Mesh. Communication is point-to-point. Bus. Signals are shared with the backbone cable. Star. Signals are passing through the central device. Ring. Signals are circulates within the network. Topology. It is the mesh, boost, and star. In the mesh, the advantage is point-to-point link, robust, privacy, or security. The disadvantage, expensive in cable and IO connection. Sheer bulk of wiring. Bus. The advantage is less expensive than mesh. Ease of installation. The disadvantage, difficult reconnection, difficult to add station, limited number of station. In the star, point-to-point link such as mesh, robust, less expensive than mesh. Disadvantage, using central device. So the ring, there is a ring also. The advantage is point-to-point link to both sides only, easy to install and configuration. An unidirectional repeater traffic of signal. So that's all of my report. Thank you for listening, sir, and God bless. Keep safe.